Hi, my name is Amanda, and thank you for visiting my page and listening to the content that I have to deliver. I'm pretty sure that if you're on this page right now, you've had a browse through and had a look at the description of my page and have somewhat of an idea as to the vision that I have for this page and the direction in which I'm looking at steering it towards. If you've not, however, had a chance, I'm just going to give you a brief outline of the purpose of this page. Basically, I would like to form a tribe with like-minded individuals, um, a mature audience who's very open-minded and non-judgmental, who is able to approach any subject with love and great caution and consideration for the next person. I'd love for us to form a tribe of fearless individuals who are okay with having those taboo conversations, who are okay to have those uncomfortable conversations and topics. I'd love for us to be that tribe that goes where everybody else doesn't want to go. I'd love for us to be that tribe that will not turn a blind eye to certain subjects and topics, but we will go right there where nobody else wants to go. I want us to be fearless. I want us to be that tribe that is not scared. I just want us to break the norm. It's I think it's an amazing time to be alive, and I don't think we have the time to stand in the shadows and hide behind the shadows and pretend like we're still living in the 1920s or back in the day. We are in the 21st century, and it's high time that people actually crawled out of their tombs and actually just owned who they were and become unhinged and be totally okay with being who they are without fear of being judged or being misunderstood. We are at that age where it's just really okay to just be you and own it for you and nobody else, because ultimately you are the star of your own life. Before we delve in deep, I'd just like to ask you to please subscribe. If you haven't, press the subscribe button. And I'd also like for you to share my page with people that you know that they'd be interested in the kind of content, the Fearless Tribe content. I'd love for us to actually attract a larger audience, because of course the more the merrier, because you'll find that within a larger group there'll be more people that are more experienced in certain topics that we're going to have, and it can help a lot of us gain insight into different taboo subjects or topics. So I'd really love for you guys to do that, and I appreciate you all very, very much. So basically, today, what I'd love to focus on is different relationship or lifestyle choices, so to speak. We're seeing a rise in different types of relationships or lifestyle choices that are just emerging, and specifically from first world countries. I'm not too sure, maybe this has been taking place in our African regions, but I stand to be corrected. Like I said, I'd love for us to open a dialogue where we can discuss these issues. I'd love for you guys to add your comments on the comment section as to how you see fit for us to actually run this platform. Maybe you guys would like to suggest in the future that we have perhaps like a live feed where we can talk, where we can share. I don't want to be the one who's just yapping away. Instead, I want to hear your opinions, and I want us to actually shake the social norms. I want us to make people uncomfortable with being comfortable with being who they are. So going right back at the topic for today. So we know that we've always had lifestyle choices such as polygamy. Polygamy has been around for years and years on end in all different parts of the world. And it is shunned by some it is of religious beliefs. So it's just been something that we all know that has been there for as long as I can remember. And then we had things such as affairs. People have been having affairs since back in the day, but of course it's always been shunned upon because it lacked that element of truthfulness, because usually when people have affairs, they have affairs behind their partner's backs. So now I want to hear from you guys. How do we look at these now today? Are we still looking at things such as affairs as a taboo thing, or it's okay as long as people know what they're doing? What is your opinion on these? Because what I realize mostly in the black community in South Africa specifically, a divorce is shunned upon. It's shunned upon, and it's actually quite disturbing. It's insane. There's this thing that if you're a divorced black woman, it's almost as though you did something wrong, or there's something that you didn't do right. So people are so afraid to actually peel themselves away from toxic relationships, from toxic marriages, because they're afraid that society will start judging them. So people end up staying in all these toxic relationships, and we've seen in South Africa the rise of gender-based violence, where people end up killing each other. People end up abusing one another because they're stuck in these toxic relationships that they really shouldn't have any business being a part of. And usually, because of the way that the constitutional marriage is structured in South Africa, people are unable to be honest with their spouses. I mean, you can't just wake up one day and tell your partner, listen, I think now I want to start having a relationship with the guy next door, or the lady next door. I mean, your partner in marriage will take you to the cleaners, for sure. So now we find that more and more couples or individuals are staying in these toxic marriages because, one, they're afraid of losing their hard-earned assets that they've worked for all their lives. They're staying in these toxic relationships because of the children. They're afraid to own themselves. They're afraid to actually become unhinged. So what happens? People then turn to the element of deceit. They go around their partner's backs, and then they have what you call affairs. Now, what is an affair, and how do we contextualize it today in this day and age? Do we call it an affair? Do we call it a relationship? Does it depend on, is it necessary to term it an affair, or should we call it a pair of lovers? What is it really? Because remember, these are two adults who are in consensus about what they're doing. But do we justify it as being okay? Because after doing quite some research, I came to the conclusion, please note, I'm no relationship expert whatsoever, but this is just my own personal research. I'm just the girl next door, like you and you and you and all of you guys on this platform. So I came up with this conclusion that people cheat for 3 reasons when they're in toxic relationships or marriages. One is to transition out of a toxic relationship. Let's say people are in these toxic relationships, but they just need someone to be there to kind of like just distract them so they can transition out of this toxic shenanigans, so that they then move on right ahead and meet whoever they actually gunning at meeting in the near future. Secondly, people cheat or involve themselves in affairs because they actually want to stay in their marriages. They want to spice things up at home, because there's this term that you don't want to be eating the same dish every day type of thing, which is, yes, some of you will say that's selfish, that's self-righteous, but then again, I did say on the description on my page that I'd love for us to be that tribe that comes together without any form of judgment. We're not going to pick sides. We're going to sit on the fence, and we're going to have these conversations, and then people can just throw in their 2 cents worth. And thirdly, people, then there's the third crew that just cannot stay monogamous to save their lives, that every time they're in a relationship they have to have a side dish. That's a topic for another day, but then again, no judgment. no judgment whatsoever. We sit on the fence and we talk about these subjects independently of our opinions. So basically, this is now the concept of affairs. Are people having affairs because they're afraid to have the hard conversations in their homes, because they're afraid that their spouses could actually take them to the cleaners or do them under? Why are we this way? Why are we not allowing ourselves to go there as a people? And then we see the rise. I mean, you see the TV programs, the television programs that are coming up. We have in South Africa, we have Untitled, which is a guy married to 4 women. We have the Gumbis, which is a guy who's married to 2 women. We have a show called Umnagwetu, where basically a man calls into the show and he asks for the host to go and help him to go and announce to his current spouse that he wants to take on a second or a third wife. And then we take it globally. We see Sister Wives. Sister Wives is a show whereby this man is married to multiple wives, a white man. Typically, you'd see it amongst, the black communities because it's been largely a black culture thing. But I can't really say that because in India it's been rife as well, in France. So it's been all over really across cultures. So I'll leave it at that. And then why is this happening in our society? Clearly, there's a huge social outcry. People are getting to that place where they're just like, you know what, I just want to be me. I'm just done. Back in the day, people used to even marry into polygamous marriages because of convenience, because of economic reasons, and social cohesion purposes. But now people don't need this anymore. Typically, it used to be women that would be actually stuck in these conditions or in these situations where a woman who was less educated would marry a rich man, a rich older man, because of economic reasons. But now, in this day and age, women have their own careers. Women don't need to be taken care of. And I mean, now we're seeing an uprise of house husbands, husbands that are stay-at-home dads. Women are going out to go and get the bacon. So the roles are being reversed. Things are different. It's why, if this is the case, why is it that we are still closed up to the concept of these new lifestyle choices that are coming up? I mean, we have things such as polyamorous, we have things such as monogamish, polyfidelity, we have polyaffective relationships. I think, honestly, people are just tired of playing house and pretending to be happy in crap marriages. People are becoming unhinged, like I said before, and are becoming so unapologetic about who they are. And once again, we're not going to judge. There's a very thought-provoking series that I've seen on Netflix. It's called You, Me, Her. It's a polyamorous relationship. Basically, polyamorous is a 3-way relationship. I'm not going to delve into detail. I think we can all kind of like research the different relationship types in our own private capacities. But basically, the topic that I'd really love for us to discuss, you guys can decide on whether or not we should go live, is to why the rise of these different lifestyle choices. And if this is the case, are you guys pro or against the these different types of relationship lifestyles that are popping up in society? And do you guys think that they would work specifically in Africa? Would this be acceptable by our black men and women in South Africa? What is your guys' opinion? I'd really love to know, because there's nobody talking about this. Like, I went online and I was trying to research on all these different relationship lifestyle choices. I find that a lot of people are very judgmental when it comes to these subjects. As a result, it's difficult to get an honest opinion, because people are so anti and so quick to throw shade. So I'd love for us to have this conversation with you as a tribe. Tell me what you think. Leave your comments down below. and let's dissect this. Let's chop it up. Let's chop it up and let's serve it. And let's just be fearless. Let us just shake the norms. Let us make people uncomfortable, and let's do this. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye.